cool little,
Sorry, go ahead.
Taste of what the rabbit world could be. And from there on, I just loved the rabbits, and I started, donating a lot of money to people with vet bills that they couldn't pay to save these guys. And one thing led to another. And I was like, there's no insurance or assurance for rabbits out there. And I was like, why can't I make more? Why can't I, do what I can to help? And then it turned from that to this, to that, to now we're in the UK with, Ray and all that. So it spread pretty quickly.
A little bit about your personal, and you write about it on the website, about your personal experience, if you don't mind, about I'm not say this is on the site. So anxiety, depression, abundance of stress, the isolation. Do you mind?
No, not at all. It's just one of the things where, I had a pretty sizable corporation, and when COVID hit, it didn't really affect us. But after COVID, it really did, with people not coming back to work and things like that. So I built this company, since 2010, and it was my baby, but then I watched it go away instantly because of out of my grasp. So it really just kind of hit a chord. And after that, it just put me into a spiral effect of, everybody deals with depression differently, and, anxiety. And it was one of those things where, wow, this can actually really happen to me. And you hear these stories, and you hear, people, talking about this and that. You're like, oh, it's just in your head. It's just your head. And now it's just like, I live that life, and I can understand and have compassion with people that actually struggle with that, daily. And I still do have a little bit daily, actions of anxiety. I think that's just, the regular things we deal with. But now I can say I know what people have gone through. So that's why I really push the Rabbit Savior, because I want to connect people that can help each other. And in the rabbit world, it looks like it's so, compartmentalized, where there's this help, but there's no really voice for the actual true rabbit. And from that stage on, that's kind of, it saved my anxiety.
Tell me a little bit more about the rabbit for you.
The rabbit for me is that's a great question, is a animal that is mysterious, loving, one of the smartest I've ever owned. I have two myself, and they're free roam, and they are basically like my roommates. They own the house. They do what they want to do.
Yes, they
they're the most.
You have to rabbit proof the cords. I mean, they're chewers. They're,
But most of all, I think the rabbit is rewarding, because you really have to connect with the rabbit. And the most important thing for me is the rabbit can sense any sort of anger, depression, bad energy, anything like that. So I have to be high energy, good spirits at all times. So in retrospect, they actually really help me. And it's one of those things where I owe them everything. That's pretty much bottom line. I may not know everything.
And I understand, you and I were chatting a little bit off here. I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. So that's kind of where it all stemmed from and started. And that's why I'm pushing. And like I said, I'm very new in this community industry. A lot of people have said, oh, you don't know anything about a rabbit. And they're absolutely right. I do not.
But you find that in in everything, be it animal, whatever. Oh, yes. You don't let me tell,
So I've had the honor of connecting myself with people that really know science back, minimal science back, because there's not much science in the rabbit I've learned, but a lot of information out there. They have factual information. So I've been learning from them, asking questions. I have them on my side of, anything that I need at hand. And I've really created a great group of people connecting wise from Canada, the UK, the United States, India, Spain, few in Australia I'm dealing with right now. So my main goal is to help everybody kind of connect together and really create a change that's needed in the rabbit community.
Tell me a little bit more about that change.
From an outsider looking in, my biggest thing is that there is a lot of opinions out there, and opinions are great, but if they're backed by facts and whatever science is out there that leads them to a common denominator, then that opinion's okay. But if you have 5,000 to 50,000 opinions, who can you trust, and who can you really, decipher what area of the community you're going to be involved in? So With that change needs to be a voice of the rabbit, an influencer out there that comes out and really shows the world what the rabbit is and how it performs as a complete amazing species on this earth. They need to see the good, they need to see the rescues, they need to see interviews with vets. It needs to be more public out there instead of the Instagram, social media pictures and this and that. So I think the narrative can change, but it's going to take a lot of people to put down the keyboards and really march for that change and stop talking. That's my thing.
And start doing, right? Start
doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It can get very much like so much on social media today and online, where people just want to criticize, critique, whatever. Polarize, and I've always set my line as if everybody did a little, others wouldn't have to do a lot. Others like yourself and other organizations wouldn't have to do a lot if everybody did a little, and be proactive and supportive of each other.
That's the thing. And that's the biggest thing for me. So that's why, Rabbit Savior is, it's very brand new, but it's created a following and people understand what I'm doing, where I'm going with it, what the whole schematics is behind it, and truly just to help the rabbit community turn into an ecosystem, an industry, to whereas we can push out the big conglomerates, like, I don't want to say any names, but the pet stores that sell the wrong products for rabbits, give the rabbits a wrong view of people that, oh, the rabbit belongs in a small cage, but we sell small cages, can buy one. We need to push that out and have the rabbit community turn into an industry, whereas we can create our own industry within that ecosystem, and people can buy the correct food, buy the correct housing.
Yeah, we've all got our anecdote, we've all got our stories, but I remember seeing a woman in a store, a pet food store, and she was carrying a little rabbit, and I engaged her in a conversation, was concerned, and I said, what about, hey, what about Timothy? What do you mean? And this was many years ago. Again, there's great resources online, but there's a lot of misinformation online. And got into a whole discussion with her. I'm not going to belabor the story, but gave her my number, said, if you need any help, whatever. So she was getting ready to go for a week in Florida and wanted to know if we would take her rabbit for that week, found out that it was in a little cage with a barky dog. And again, dogs and rat, they could all do well. Cats and rat, they could all do well together. But it was, I was going to say, not an ideal. It was an awful situation for the rabbit. She liked the idea of having the rabbit, but caring for it and I'll never forget going, I said, how would you feel? I said, you don't have to make your mind up now if we just took the rabbit, and that way you didn't have to get concerned about coming back. Of course, that became one of our many funds at the time, but it was just, she didn't know about Timothy, didn't know. And that idea of, well, it's in a cage. Well, I see them in a cage. Well, they're in a cage. The pets, it's awful. Just like rabbit welfare, a hutch is not enough.
Correct.
Why do you ever, forgive me, I'm ranting now, Jonathan.
No, it's okay.
You got me on a rant. But why do you have a rabbit? It's like a chained dog in the backyard. Why do you have a dog if you have a chained or in a doghouse in the backyard? Why do you have a rabbit if you have a hutch in the backyard? And again, some people have great enclosures for the rabbit to run outside that with obviously netting on top of that to keep eagles and hawks. But it's great. Just like I like to run around outside, but I generally like to sleep in somewhere in the house at night, sometimes out under a tree. But it's the idea.
That's the problem. People have the idea. It's the idea of having. It's the idea of
having it. I like the idea of I have a rabbit.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So just, like I said, that conversation could go right or left. It's like, I like the idea of having a child, but I like the idea of having this, but it's that whole sentence that it's not a very good decision making tool, so to speak.
No, it's not. And with the other thing, and one of the things I've said over the years, when people, we had a rabbit for a little bit, or we got a rabbit around Easter, and X amount of weeks or months later, we put it outside, put it out. Well, and they'll say, well, I see rabbits out in the yard, wild rabbits in the yard. And it's like, I see kids out in the yard too. And they don't, and again, right.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
you wouldn't say, well, the kid's a little much, or the kid,
Yep.
did this or that. So I'm going to put, it's insane. It's awful. It's horrific.
It is. And at the end of the day, it all stems from any media or conglomerate that has put that image in that person's head as where that rabbit should be, outside in a small cage. So that's what, this community needs to really grasp onto. We can all talk, we can all post pictures, we can all rant and rave on their keyboards. Yeah. We can do this, we can do that. And I'm watching it because I'm slowly getting into the groups, not getting into whereas I'm having conversations, but looking at people's, you can feel their conversation, so to speak.
Yes.
So when you're looking at that, and then you're saying to yourself, okay, I feel the energy. And I hear what you're trying to say, but if there's no action, there's not going to be a change, and we're going to have the same narrative over and over. It's going to be regurgitated over and over until the end of time. And I'm not saying I'm one person that's going to change, but I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I've been getting a lot of flack because I'm new and this and that. Who is this guy? But at the end of the day,
I'm sorry, forgive me, Jonathan. So, but why wouldn't you, this is some of the, embrace you. We should embrace you. It's like, yay. To me, when Ray first connected us, it's like, I don't want to use the expletive, but it's like, yeah, I better just, I watch because it wants to come out. Yeah. Somebody else advocating for doing things, not just talking about, but actually doing things for rabbits. It's great. It's wonderful.
And that's the thing. Either they're too competitive, or they see me as a threat, or they see me as I don't know what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I honestly, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings out there, but I do not care what you think. I work for the rabbit, and at the end of the day, I want to be known as a guy that actually said what he's going to do and helped as many as he could before he leaves this earth.
Yeah, and I love that about you.
That is what I'm left with. Then I'm completed. So
I'll tell you who this guy is. This guy's a wonderful guy. He's the founder of Rabbit Savior. It's Jonathan Silva. It's like, yeah, welcome. Jonathan's in the club.
Thank you.
No, I'm serious. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and thank you. I mean, I appreciate it. It's hard, a lot of hard work, and one idea came to fruition, and this thing went semi sort of viral, and a lot of people know about it. And maybe it's my life purpose to do something like this and really connect everybody together and get the community, riled up in the right way and march down that road. Because like I said, if one person can march down the street, but if they don't start dropping their keyboards and marching with me, then nothing's going to change.
No, and I agree with you. And, it's kind of like, not to get into any of the area animal rescues or groups, when I hear them criticize others, some people say, well, but that one, they do, or, they euthanize it, or, they're all doing good work. And I has this fantasy of getting everybody down at the table one day at a big table and say, we're going to hug each other. We're going to praise the word. If you got suggestions for each other, that's great. But they're all doing
that topic. What you said needs to happen. So it either needs to happen to where it's either on a large scale or a smaller scale. And you are 100% right. Everybody needs to put down their keyboards, come to a meeting at the table, discuss the problems, discuss the issues, work together. That is it.
Because we're all, we're all caring about the same, if it's rabbits, we're all doing, and I can think of so many rabbit groups that do good work.
Yeah.
They're different.
Yes.
But what, instead of pointing the finger, my line is always, they'll point the finger, but fear the mirror. Look in the mirror and say, how can we do better? How can we do better? What else can we do?
Yes.
And yes.
100% right. Because they fear that, and they fear different, because, they fear change too. A lot of people fear the change. And that's the biggest thing, because I tell people all the time, it's like, well, you change your socks and shoes and, pants every day. So change is okay, but you just got to realize change is fine. You just have to adapt to it.
Yes, you have to adapt to it. Your passion, and again, I love your passion, what you're doing. Tell us a little bit more about Rabbit Savior and what you do.
Well, Rabbit Savior was designed to help. It first started to help with the vet bills assistance with consumers that don't have insurance. So we've turned that into, we have a scope of the buddy chat to where if you need help or information, you can actually log on as a member and speak to someone immediately, or schedule an appointment to talk to somebody over the Zoom call like we are now,
Yeah.
or over the phone. Any details, but if it's emergency, we push you to go to a vet immediately. We actually create our own internal donation. I don't want to say the conglomerate name, but we created our own donation called Fund My Bun. So
I love that. Fund My Bun.
Fund My Bun, and we're pretty proud of that because we don't take a fee off of that. And I know there's other donation programs that people are using daily out there that take a fee. When you're a member, we do not take a fee. If you collect 5,000, you get the 5,000. And it's pretty, it's gonna be pretty high tech. That opens up in March, or actually April 1st, I'm sorry. We have a partners page. We have a lot of partners that have teamed up with us. We're working together, discounts. So it's turned into like a hub. So it came from one aspect to a complete hub that I hope to design that everybody can enjoy. Go to a factual a website and get all the information. And that's it, and bring change. And then we're going to have the podcast, the RSS Experience, and then the RSS TV. I plan to go visit actual shelters and rescues, record so people can actually see live what they do instead of pictures on the internet. I'm going to really interview pretty much everybody I can, and really try to spread the word and have people have a visual on things. That way they can see, like, oh, wow, I heard about it. I seen it on Facebook, that whole saying, I've seen it on this, I see on that, but now I'm actually watching it live, or whatever the circumstance may be, pre-recorded. And that's going to change a little bit of a narrative in their minds. Like, wow, I had no idea. So once they have the perspective, and it's like, I really want to try to get the industry, or the community, I'm sorry, to turn into their own industry, work together. And then, like I said, really outgrow what's been going on for the past 20 years. And even if we make one small change, it could be something so small, but that change can really turn into something multi-massive down the road. Because once they see they accomplished one thing, then, wow, that wasn't easy, that wasn't hard, but we did it. Let's all now work together and keep going.
I love that. Jonathan Silva. Again, it's Rabbit Savior. We've got links up at wfmj.com, louisfreeshow.com. Just go direct to rabbitsavior.com. When you think about some of the changes that, again, that your drive to do this, again, we think so many places I could go, how rabbits are misunderstood. They're prey animals. They're not cats and dogs. They don't behave like cats and dogs. And one of the things that I always say when people say, well, you can litter box train them. Yes, you can to urinate, again, and I feel it's really important to not try to convince someone to take in a rescue rabbit, but to be honest about some of the differences and challenges. Again, and they can make, again, the buns that we've had, I just have been so loving and have been so much a part of my life. And that line that they say, who rescued whom? It's like they rescue me many times over with their love and everything about them. But again, when you explain to them, if they're having the right diet, if you're feeding them properly, their defecation, their craps won't smell, and they're dry. You pick them up. And when I had someone, it was interesting because somebody came over a number of years ago, and first thing he said, I thought I'd be able to smell. I thought your house would smell, or something like that. He didn't mean it mean, but he said, I thought there'd be an aroma. I think he said odor. And it's like, well, no, I mean, and when I've picked up, I'll say, well, here's one of their droppings, and I say, here, smell, and I'll hold up my, smell it. There's no, it's, and then you rub it between your fingers, and it's fiber. That's what it is. It's essential. Yeah. And at first they freak out, and, but I don't want to give people the illusion, misinformation. They take a rabbit in and they don't know, and they've got to be educated on it. And that's really, really key.
it's really the key. And like I said, there's so many, I'd say, I don't want to get percentages out there because like I said, if someone hears this, oh, he still doesn't know what he's talking about, but there's a wide spread of people that truly do not know still how to care for rabbit. I still don't. And I'm still, studying every day how I can be the best fun parent. I don't give information on any rabbits. I always refer people to the best knowledge I know of who can take care of that. But I mean, it's all about just getting that right knowledge up front, the factual, and then you can go from there.
Yeah.
But there's a limitation.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, and people have differences in the way and things and how they protect the cords and how to protect your rabbit. More importantly, that they don't bite an electric cord and hurt themselves or kill themselves.
Yeah.
More important. But some of them, I've had to downsize books lately, Jonathan. You're a young man. I'm an old guy. And I started to think a while back, well, I'm going to die. And then someone's going to think, was this book important to them? Was that? And I've got way too many books. So I was downsizing. Well, some of the ones that I would have donated or gotten rid of, where the rabbits chewed the binding, they're precious to me. Even if it's a book I'm never going to, it's like, I can't get rid of that one.
No, it's like it's book,
I've got some, I'm always wearing an I Love My Library shirt. I've got a collection of them. And I've got one that one of our buds actually, when he was ill, I would put it down and he liked the shirt. He would always like dig on the shirt and he chewed holes in the back. And I can't get rid of that shirt. That shirt's precious to me and I wear it. My wife will say, there's holes in the back of that shirt. I said, I know. And I love this shirt.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to wear it. Yeah.
No, it's, like I said, it's all, I just think people need to be more informed.
More informed.
A lot of the rescues do, wonderful jobs out there. There's a bunch of rescues that, would need more help to understand the scope of the business and scope of, where the direction they're going and the information. But it just saddens me to have people not help each other. So, I hope this message that I, have with Rabbit Savior that, really burns in the brains of people like, wow, you know what? Maybe we all should help each other, that whole cliche thing. But I think it starts with, it doesn't start from the top. People think, oh, it's got to start from the top. No, it doesn't. It's got to start from the foundation. So if you don't have a foundation, you can't build that top. So, that's one of the things that people need to really just put down the egotistical actions. And it doesn't matter what your name is.
That's right. Get your ego out. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Because, that's the biggest thing. My thing was, meeting different rabbit, people, me. It's like, well, okay, that's great. But I mean, let's steer the conversation different direction. Let's see what we can do to fix an issue, not just what you have done accomplished.
Yeah.
So
and you're right. Because that ego that, look at me and look what I've done. And it's not about you. And again, it's about working together and learning from each other.
That's it. That's all it is. It's almost stupid simple. I hate to say that. And people make it too complex to figure out what the true easiest way to resolve issues is. But I mean, like I said, I've learned so much. I've met an amazing bunch of people through the short amount of time I've been, doing this. And I'm so ever grateful for a lot of people I've met. Like I said, I'm going to keep going and just, the next step is to really understand people's mindset, because a lot of things that people are, I guess dubbing me as, oh, he comes from the insurance industry. No, I do not, number one. And there's no reason to be mad or.
Wait a minute, what would be wrong with coming?
That's the crazy thing. So people think insurance are scum or this or that. And it's just like, then I asked the question, okay, well, why are you so cynical towards insurance companies? Oh, well, they screwed me. I said, well, did they help you at the time of need? Yes. Yeah. And they're so mad because they're going to pay money. But insurance companies can only cover up to a certain amount of things before they go under. People don't understand that. So they should look at it as a reward. So what we have been really working with, there's a couple insurance companies out there, I don't want to name yet, but they're very high up. They are animal insurance companies. We're trying to be the supplement of what they offer. So if they offer X amount of percentage and they don't cover a certain amount of percentage, we will take the supplemental and cover
That's
the rest of that.
wonderful.
So let's say XYZ insurance company covers up to 70%, and you have our program and we cover that same issue that your rabbit's going through. So you may not have to pay the vet bill. But if your XYZ insurance doesn't cover, let's say, dental, but we cover dental, you're still covered. And if the vet bill is still too much for you, we have our internal Fund My Bun that we help raise. We actually assist and help you raise money and not just send you the link and good luck. So we work with you on that transaction. So then your vet bill is, more affordable that way. But the biggest thing is just showing people, the rabbit is very, the rabbit's expensive.
Yes. The medical. Yeah. Well, and feeding them, if you're going to feed them a good diet,
You're 100% right. So I think the story needs to change, that people's, awareness of the rabbit's not cheap. If you think the rabbit's cheap, you should not own a rabbit, period. It's an investment. It's a family member. You really have to ask yourself, are you willing to pay for the family member?
That's one of the things, again, as and I talk about that, Jonathan Silva, a lot on the show about, firstly, I feel at my age, it would be very irresponsible to take in a bunny, a little, a young bun, a young cat, a kitten, a puppy. It would be because of my age. Again, and you've got to have the financial resources. I know that over the, we're in a much better situation financially a number of years ago, but we were traveling to a vet to have, in one case, our bun had to have half of her jaw removed. It was thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And it ended up being incredibly successful. It was one of those.
Good.
Yeah. Vet, Dr. Beth Arnold, she's out there. Just incredible. She did an incredible job with the bun. But again, you had to be able to pay for it, because it was going to be that, or she was going to die or have to be euthanized. And again, for you to be connecting and doing that and helping people with that is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Again, well, thank you. You're doing it. This is about you. You're doing it, because if people, are not in that situation, you've got to get help.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of vets that work with people, have a vet locally that's worked with us on some, which is wonderful. But you can't expect them to stay in business and discount everything either.
Exactly. So that's kind of like, where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to get the word out. I'm slowly marketing. A lot of people are looking at the site like it's too good to be true, because no one's ever done this before. And that's okay. And I'm okay with being the first to do something in this scope. I'm okay to get my name drawn on the floor. I'm okay to do all the things, because I have nothing to lose and everything to gain with the rabbits.
I love that about you, Jonathan. That's wonderful. And again, that people have to be prepared for that. One of my other issues that I have when people will say, and again, Easter is again, I'm not talking about the religious holiday of Easter, so I don't want people to be offended, but it's a scary time for rabbits, because they're unscrupulous. I'll just say, bad people out there that push rabbits for people for Easter. And then when people that are ill prepared or didn't think it through, or the worst for me is when they say, well, I got a rabbit to teach our child a responsibility. It's like, wait a minute, you're the parent. It's your job to teach your child responsibility. So what, you've got a 6-year-old, well, then why don't you have a baby? Why don't you have your wife have another baby? And then you can have that baby, teach your 6-year-old responsibility, and let the 6-year-old care for the baby. When you think it through, because people say, I never thought about it like that. Well, you need to, because you don't get a living creature to teach your child responsibility. Sorry,
you are 100% right.
You are the no expletive. You are the parent. It's your job to teach your child responsibility, not, I'm sorry, Jonathan. Save me from myself, young man.
No, you're 100% right, because you know what, at the end of the day, and here's that person's thought process, and no disrespect, to any disregard of that individual, because I know there's millions out there. They think, okay, I got this rabbit for $40. I can just dispose at any time. Are you
Yeah.
effing kidding me right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to go ahead and really have a conversation with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
a living
that's,
creature.
it's a
Yeah.
living creature that has feelings. It's a soul. It's, you know,
Soul.
a
Thank
different
you.
vessel. It's, you know, we have this body. It's our vessel. Our soul is, you know, a very
Beautiful.
unique, different thing that people don't even know about. And, you know, I'm fortunate to have this vessel for the, you know, my time here, but the rabbit is a soul.
A
It
soul.
has its vessel. Just because it's small and tiny doesn't mean it should be, you know, discriminated with anything else. It's,
That's
we're
right.
all
A
effing-
beautiful little creature. A beautiful
yes,
little creatures. And
yeah,
it have like personalities, and it's
yes,
different. It's interesting when you first start, you know, it's interesting and they bond, and it's the relationship. And I've told, maybe again, regular listeners, I've told these stories, some will say too often, but I'll never forget, Jonathan Silva, when we had one of our buns, and she bonded with another bun. They were all fixed, and it was a male, female, and she had lost a sight in one eye, and then she gone blind. They would stay under our bed most of the day. And when she would need to use the litter box, I mean, it was the most amazing thing. And again, regular listeners, you know the story.
yeah,
He would walk her. She would like lean against him. He would walk her to the litter box, wait for her, walk her back under the bed. And one of the great things, when we would put the produce, their salad, whatever, in addition with their pellets and their hay, he would wait for her to eat. And then when she was finished, he would eat. And one day I went to pick the plate up to put more produce in it, and he growled and snapped at me. It was like as if to say, she's not done yet, bro. Put it down, put it back down, old man. And it was so beautiful to see how this too often discounted, sentient, beautiful soul cared for her, understood that she couldn't see, understood. Oh, I get teary eyed thinking about it. It was just so beautiful, so beautiful to witness.
And what you witnessed is basically two souls that are in a rabbit vessel, and they are just like humans.
Yeah.
They are just like humans, and they
better
know.
than in some cases, better than in some.
I didn't want to say that because I don't want to get scrutinized, but you did, yeah.
I did.
But like I said, you know, I've learned so much. You know, I'm a single bun dad, and I spend 24/7 with mine. I work from home. They are free roam. We have our movie time at 8:30 at night until 1 in. They're in my bed and kind of, you know, run around.
Oh, that's.
They
watch movies with you? Yeah.
Yeah, they have their own bedroom. Actually, they have 2 bedrooms. They're not in cages.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And we just, like I said, it's a 3 of us. I tell people, my roommates, because I don't want to say they're just rabbits. They're my kids.
Yeah.
And
they're your family. Your family. Yeah.
They are. And I think the number one thing that I can really take from all this experience, if I wasn't promised tomorrow, that the 2 rabbits that I have truly given me a complete understanding of life, and really to appreciate every minute and understand that they have the power to really change an individual if you let that happen, and not be the crazy bunny dad or the crazy bunny lady. But I'm talking like you can really learn a lot from the rabbits' full spectrum of what they do.
You sure can. You sure can. And I know, obviously you have, and I know I have, and so many, by just watching them, like I say, with that one example of how they cared for each other and how beautiful that was. And it did, you know, nobody had to tell them, nobody had to say, well, you need to be you need to care give. She's going blind. You know, it happened, and it was beautiful to witness. I mean, absolutely beautiful to witness. And when she passed, I'm going to get too emotional, but it was just what he did. And it was a beautiful, beautiful to see that relationship. And I'm confident, Jonathan Silva, that I will be with them, all the buns, I mean, that's heaven for me. Yeah. People say, well, what about family? Yeah, there's some family members I'd like to see. after I commune
Yeah.
with the bugs and the dogs and the
Yes.
cats that we've had over the years. But after that,
Yes.
that's
That's
bear with me for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Top of the hour, you're listening to the Louis B. Free Radio Show, Brain Food from the Heartland, copyright Be Free Radio Limited, 2022, produced by the lovely Miss Bunny Face in cooperation with White Rabbit Productions. Talking with Jonathan Silva, founder of Rabbit Savior, rabbitsavior.com. Again, it satisfies your soul, doesn't it?
it does. It really does. And it's like, I don't think there's any other industry that I would love to be in ever. I mean, I think my, not to get, religion wise, but I think my God purpose in life is to land where I am right now with the bunnies. And it's so weird. I am dyslexic, so I have trouble reading. And the only book I've ever written in my entire life when I was a younger boy was a book called Bunnicula. It was a vampire bunny.
Nick, I love, yeah,
That's
and
the
you're
only
young. You're
book
young.
I've
I
read.
don't, yeah. I love Bunnicula.
Yeah. And I think that was basically God telling me at that time, like, look, this is your life. You better understand it. I had no idea. I'll be 43 next week. And I was thinking about it.
Happy
How did
birthday,
I
Earl.
end up? Thank you. I'm like, how did I end up here? And I'm looking at all the, the
Bunnicula.
times, I guess, lifetime life, per se. I'm like, maybe this is my calling and this is what I'm supposed to do.
That's beautiful, Jonathan Silva. That's beautiful. I know that with the Bunnicula, and I don't remember how I came upon the cartoon. I haven't seen the books, but I love Bunnicula and Chester the dog and or Chester the cat and what's the dog's name? I can't remember.
God, what was it? I gotta remember. I gotta go back.
Just love. Yeah, that's all right. I love those. I love those.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty
so
of
awesome.
episodes.
Yeah. But I really, really want to make sure that I can really, I know I'm going to get a lot of slack if people hear this, but I want to be the person that gives the voice of the rabbit out to the current community, the new community, and really have that power and potential to change the narrative, with a lot of, I don't want to say issues. I just want to say different scenarios. I don't want to say roadblocks because that's just negativity. There's a lot of scenarios out there that we can't overcome because there's nothing out there that can't be overturned, overruled, over stagnant. You can always change something, but you just got to do it. Because Nike, like Nike they have the swoosh. They wouldn't say I'm trying, right? It says do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. That's their thing. I mean, I wouldn't wear a shoe that says just trying.
Yeah. Or that, I think it's attributed. Is it attributed to Ben Franklin? Or well done is better than well said.
Yes.
Right. Is that, I think, a Ben Franklin attributed to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. So that's kind of my motto. Like I said, I'm not going to stop. It's funny that word has spread so quickly and so fast, and I'm so honored and, just to be in it with everybody.
Where do you think that comes from in you, Jonathan Silva? That
drive,
passion. Well, the compassion, the empathy, the love, the drive. Because again, and there's a lot of men out there that are rabbit lovers, and I get that. And again, I'm grateful to any man that takes a rabbit in. That's, I'll hashtag I'm a rabbit man. And I'm grateful for anyone that gives a rabbit love and a home and good care. You're really, I dare say, going above and beyond. I mean, you're really making a tremendous impact in a very short period of time. Where do you think that? It's one thing if you take rabbits in and you find the solace with them and the love and which is wonderful and beautiful. Where do you think that, yeah, I'm going on and on. Go ahead.
No, that's a good question because I've had that asked to me, and I haven't really had, I guess, the time to explain that very question. So I guess here's my chance. So I've grown up in a very competitive racing world, to where I was always competitive, national, worldwide. So my competitiveness is always to win, but it's also to understand how to win and understand what it takes to win and understand how to respect your discipline and respect your competitors as well as champions on how to win. So with that all navigating toward my passion is basically my competitiveness to really want to start something and finish it, number one. And the compassion is basically just my heart is so huge that I think it's just time for me to really direct all my energy to what I'm doing now instead of racing. Unfortunately, I have to probably retire in a couple of years, but I think that's pretty much where it all stems from, and just to go above and beyond. And I'm okay to jump off a bridge with a parachute. Most people aren't. I'm okay to go 120 miles an hour plus, and some aren't. So I'm okay to go that extra step because I'm 100% okay to fail. I'm not afraid to fail. I want to fail hundreds of times because it takes that one time to succeed. And all the times that, quote unquote, that I've failed, it's actually just a learning experience. So most people want you to fail, and I'm okay with that. So I think my above and beyond is just, I won't stop. You won't stop me. You can kick me, burn me, push me, suffocate me, but I'll keep coming, and I will keep going above and beyond. Not because of the I, me aspect. It's because there is an objective, and the rabbit needs to have a chance at life because they gave me a chance. And
it's beautiful. I'm going to stop you. Yeah, the rabbit deserved because the rabbit gave you a chance.
Exactly. That's it. Rabbit gave me a chance. And the weirdest thing is, like, God, I want to say last April, I had this weird dream, and I had a rabbit on my chest, and I woke up, and it was like this, weird dream where you can like visualize everything. And it was like, what was that for? And at that time I had nothing rabbit in my mind. And that's kind of how it all happened. And my passion and my drive kind of all cohesed together. And that's the answer to the question.
And it feels really satisfying for you, Jonathan Silva, correct?
Yeah, it does. There's nothing better than, me watching other people saying, wow, Rabbit Savior has saved my rabbit. So that's, it's not the fulfillment that, oh, we did it. We know. It's like we helped and assisted best we could, and we made that person smile and keep their best friend or their family member. So
they're family members.
That's our job. We want to do that. And we just, like I said, we're still brand new. We have a lot of things to do. We're still in the works of everything. I think by this time next year, it should evolve into something beautiful. With everybody's help, I think it can really mark some change. I really want to get the rabbit out of the livestock category. I really want to make some change in legislation down the road once everything gets rolling. There's a lot of good stuff on the scope that we're going to, target and, knock down.
Tell me a little bit more about that within a year. I mean, those are big goals.
Yeah, they are big goals, but it's just one of those things where I work 24/7. I'm not one of those people that just, I guess, I don't want to say satisfied, but every goal that I have, I already have a plan for it. And I have a chronological order of events for it. Even though they're in the infant stages right now, and I don't really want to talk about it because people think I'm crazy, this and that. I mean, I'll talk to you about it, but it's just like one of those things where I already have them planned out, have them written out. I have them scoped out with my team of people that I have that aren't in the rabbit industry. Let me, let you know, but they are a team of experts that can get in the field of change. Then I can bring the rabbit experts in for more information. So I kind of built a team within a team to understand that. So I don't just hold up a sign and say, let's, save Britney Spears, let's save the rabbits. I actually go inside and try to implode.
I'm glad you mentioned the Britney. The free Britney thing just confounded me. I've got to say, it's like, that's what's going to get you out on the street. Really?
Right.
I'm sorry.
So,
which is not a criticism on Britney Spears fans. It's like with all the issues in the world and all the things that need done, it's like you're gonna advocate.
Okay, so to touch on that one subject, now she has a massive following. She's a massive influencer, not only with her music, but just in life in general and a scope of what people are going through. Just imagine if there's that one person out there that held that flame, that torch for the rabbit people, and there was that many people that supported that one person. Change would happen within faster than people know what hit them.
That's
That's it. That's it. There's gonna be one person, and then if there was a Britney Spears of the rabbit world, and you have all these people really marching down the road, truly caring for their family member, I think change would hit them so quickly they wouldn't know how to adjust and change.
That's beautiful. I love it. So, well, we'll talk about that more down the road, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like you've got some ideas and
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Jonathan, so
Yeah.
how can people help? How can people, again, rabbitsavior.com, what can we do?
Yeah, just go on the website, take a look at it. You can become a free member if you don't have insurance. We have a couple memberships that may suit your financial needs. Like I said, we're in the infant stages. Come check us out. If there's anything that we can do to help you, we'll direct you to the best knowledgeable people that we are attached to right now. We're just keeping our community growing. That's pretty much it.
Check out Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, I have a personal page on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook, but just go on the social media, take a look at us, the website. That's it. We're here to stay. We're not going anywhere.
I love that. And I love anybody, male or female. I don't want to make this, but to hear a real man. My line, when I see things online or whatever, someone has a picture of a guy with a rabbit. My line is always, it takes a real man to love a rabbit.
Yeah.
And I stand by that. And
yeah, same here.
I love that about you, Jonathan Silva. I'm blown away by you and your drawing. And you've got, again, it's great for people that are driven, that are passionate about helping and doing it, but you've got all that business. I mean, you've got that competitive, you've got all that business background, and you understand how things, that blows my mind because you can see I'm chaotic and disorganized. You're obviously very organized, and and you come from that world where you can make these things happen.
And that's to touch on that subject. And I was talking to a fellow person last night that I deal with in San Diego. What I'm trying to also do, and I think people are going to be scared, and at first they're going to be driven away from it, but I'm trying to bring in different industries that aren't rabbit related, in different industries to actually show awareness and knowledge, and not necessarily, I don't want to keep saying funding because the funding is going to run out one day. The free money is going to run out. So we really have to try to ecosystem and make a profit to turn it back into the rabbit world. So I'm trying to bring in industries that are different, like, energy drinks, corporations, to really have a narrative, but it also shows value on each. And I'll touch on the subject right now. And what I'm doing is I'm taking the marijuana dispensaries, and they are a wellness company. All the big ones, I've been to the nicest ones that look like doctor's offices that would blow you away. So I'm taking the wellness vision of that and taking the wellness of a rabbit and showing the scope of community that, look, one is helping the other. They want wellness for the people. Now they're turning to animals. So it's not just a plant that people are smoking to get high. No, I don't want to offend anybody, but they're also in the industry to help wellness on the human being and the animals. And I have one outfit in Texas right now that does CBD for rabbits. So I'm really trying to get the campaign to really mesh together so people can see the other side of the fence. It's not so bad. They're actually true people trying to help and bring different people together. That's the biggest thing, because the rabbit community has stuck with each other, there's no problem with that. There's no problem with that. But I think when they see a different scope and a different a vehicle, they need to either jump on it and drive with it or watch it go by them. Wow. And still be in the same spot.
See that again, their creativity, your background, your business background, your understanding of it, and obviously again, your passion. Yeah. All coming together, the synergy is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
A lot of sleepless nights.
I'm sorry?
A lot of sleepless nights.
Well, yeah, but at least you've got the rabbits there. You've got the bots, right? It doesn't get better than that, right? Well, I love that. I hope this is the beginning of a wonderful relationship between you and me and Rabbit Savior and my gig.
so much.
anything, anytime. I'm honored to have gotten to know you. I want to thank
I'm
Ray
honored as well.
with Rabbit Welfare in the UK for connecting us, because you're an incredible young man, going to be doing and will continue to do wonderful things for rabbits in the rabbit world.
That
So
means so much.
I'm honored to know you, young man. Honestly, I
Same,
mean that.
same.
So let's
Pleasure.
connect.
We
I'm
will.
anything, anytime. I'm here. And I
Same
mean
here.
that. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
Wow,
Thank you so much.
Jonathan Silva, how great is that? Again, Rabbit Savior, Jonathan, thank you. Rabbit Savior.